How's it going, everybody? We are here with the Forewarned Abominations update, patch notes. Looking at this here. Super excited for this. Forewarned's been a very fun game. It's been one of my favorite ghost hunting games next to Phasmophobia, so I'm super looking forward to this update. Haven't done any content on Forewarned yet. May do some of that here in the future, but let's take a look here at the patch notes and see what got released. So, note from the developers. Long-awaited arrival of a new Mejai is finally here with the Forewarned Abominations major developmental update. In addition to the introduction of a 6th Mejai, this update is brimming with new content, 2 new maps, new tomb variation, updates to afterlife mechanics, increased ritual challenge, completely revamped phenomena, quality of life fixes, those just qualify, and more. This update also focuses on making the starting experience smoother in all regards, allowing new players to become acquainted with core gameplay more quickly, still enjoying the process of discovery. Have their Discord link. And so let's take a look at this. Changes, new Mejai. Atimon the Abominable. All right, discover the horror that is Atimon the Abominable as the latest Mejai to haunt the ruins. Known to his enemies as the Flesh Welder, Atimon possesses unique strengths that make him a challenging and terrifying adversary to overcome. Utilize your research notes to learn how to exploit his weakness, but be warned, when desperate, Atimon will reveal his true power. Okay, that sounds creepy. Atimon is now an option to select when entering all ruins inner tombs. Okay, PDA has been updated to include Atimon's research notes, as well as collection evidence tab, 10 new lore pages. Available for the collection and tell the story of how Atimon came to be. New inner tomb notes available to specific Atimon's behavior. New achievement. Banished for the time. Look at that. Look at that creep. New maps. 2 new maps have been added to the game. Thought to have been lost to time. The tomb hidden within the sun-scorched Dread Valley has emerged from the shadows and is ready for you to explore. After significant excavation efforts, the entrance to a new ruin has been unearthed. Watch your step as you descend into Nekbet Chasm. Oh, both of those look pretty cool. Dread Valley and Nekbet Chasm. Okay. New procedurally generated tomb variation, Underground Palace, has been added. This new tomb style can be found within Dread Valley and Nekbet Chasm map. For 30 new rooms. Okay. Dangerous trap rooms, new tomb door style, lighting within the ruins. Variation, Ushabti puzzles fitting to the Underground Palace, new thrilling ritual chamber, unique effects, challenges, new ambient sound effects, enemy type lurking throughout, new objectives. Very cool, very cool. New afterlife mechanics. I still have to get more experience with afterlife mechanics as well. Spectator mode has been removed from the game. Instead, mummy players who have perished can return again to roam the halls after a short duration. All right, that sounds pretty good. New experience will now present itself to players that die, transitioning from death to the afterlife room where players choose their path. The afterlife room itself has also been redesigned and revamped with new graphics and overall atmosphere. All right, it's one of the cool things. You can, like, get reborn at least once, was one of the things. Death recaps have been added to the game, informing players how they died with tips to avoid such a death in the future. Very helpful because you die a lot here when you're, like, just starting playing Forewarned, or at least I did because I'm terrible. But either way, definitely helps to do that, to know how to fix yourself for next time to avoid death. So always showing gameplay settings. Recaps only once per cause of death, but they can change the ritual updates. More enemies will now spawn during the banishment ritual with both difficulty and number of players. All right, so that's good that you can fix how there. Enemies will now attempt to disrupt the banishment ritual, striking the altar as it takes damage. Pieces of the canopic box will break off. Once the box is completely destroyed, the ritual will fail, dooming your soul to an eternity trapped in the Mejai's tomb. All right, so it looks like it's going to make it a bit more difficult. I know from, like, other people playing it that it did seem like it was a little bit easy to do that, but so I think harder would be pretty good. Although I was never that. Further excitement has been added. Revamp phenomena. All right, throughout revamping all phenomena, improving upon existing functionality, well as introduction brand new mechanic. These changes, while making things feel more fresh and thrilling, will also allow certain tools to feel more effective, rewarding, and fun to gather evidence with. All right, awesome. Destruction. The Mejai spirit has grown more powerful and can now destroy more than just pots and vases. All right, players may now experience pillars, columns, and statues and other objects getting awesome. Yeah. Best way to tell destruction before was you would hear a vase, like a break in the distance. That's how you knew it was destruction. That was like it. It was just constantly like do that over and over. So I'm glad that they changed it up a bit more. That's really cool. Disturbed tombs. After a sarcophagus has been disturbed, scratch marks left by the spirit can be in a random spot inside. These scratch marks are only visible to the tablet tool, right? Or after a duration. Opportunity to confirm whether or not a tomb was disturbed in case they missed experience. All right, very useful, very useful. Let me read what else it says. The phenomenon has also received additional visual and audio enhancements when it occurs, including a chance that the spirit will emit an aura around the sarcophagus for interacting with it. All right. Yeah, so the thing with disturbed tombs in the past was that it could be tough because it sounds exactly the same as if another player disturbed a tomb or opened one. You know? So you kind of had to guess or see it numerous times yourself to see if it was it. So the fact that it can leave scratch marks is very good. Just added stuff just to like help you dictate, because that was like one of the things that usually you could kind of tell if it was disturbed or not. You would hear it, and especially if you were playing solo, it might have been a bit easier, but if you're playing with a group, it could be a bit harder. Electronic disturbance. This phenomena now also affects the radio tool, altering and distorting the audio. Flashlight synapse now rapidly fluctuate in intensity rather than turning off and on. Seems a bit more subtle and added to effective tools while. All right, I know like one of the good, well, I think that was magnetic distortion. Like the compass spinning, but that's magnetic. But very cool. Electronic disturbance should be maybe a bit easier, maybe not, depending on how it's going to be, but interested to check it out. Extinguished flames, a visible gust of wind will often accompany this phenomena. Okay, visible gust of wind. Yeah, usually you could, like, the thing with extinguished flames is your flame went out after a while. You would have to, like, listen for a blow. Sometimes it, it could kind of be sort of like you could question yourself more so. So a visual thing would be really good. New footstep sounds has been added for greater variety. Yeah, footsteps. I always felt like I heard footsteps every single game, and I was not too. So different footstep sounds really cool. Yeah, there goes magnetic distortion. Compass needle. When this occurs, compass needle will now spin for a longer duration, and the compass itself would rapidly sounds like a cooler effect with metallic signature or radioactivity. Metallic signature, I really hope they fixed it, because that was a pain in the ass to get. Like, I don't think I've ever gotten it, and it was just so hard to seem to get. I think everybody who played it had struggled with it. Let's see what it says about it. Ancient Egyptians believe the soul comprised of several parts, one of which was referred to as a secum for the life force of the soul, spiritual form. While roaming the ruined spiritual form, the Mejai will now occasionally exude a portion of its energy in the form of ectoplasm. The vicious substance can emit certain energy readings depending on the Mejai's associated phenomena, such as radioactivity, metallic signature, or both. Okay, this energy will fade away after some time. Be sure to out for it and have the tools. Okay, so now it looks like it's gonna have, because like, let's see what else it says before I talk about this. Note that this is an additional means of gathering radioactivity metallic signature phenomena, and it's still possible to pick up reading here near Mejai's spirit as before. All right. The chance of the Mejai's spirit produces ectoplasm increases the closer the players to the spirit. When playing in a group, the chance further when the team is buff the radioactive sensitivity levels for 1 to 4 of the. Yeah, so that was a problem. Like, to get the metallic signature before, you had to have that black cloud, and as soon as you saw that black cloud, you had to like use the metal detector on it. But I could never get it to work. So the fact that it can now have ectoplasm, and you might be able to get it off of that, like a much better visual tool that might work better. It sounds like definitely quality of life improvement in there. Probably pretty cool. Radar detection system. I didn't use this one too much. I played a lot solo, and I just sort of didn't really bother. Let's see what it says this time. Radar system leveling been reworked to no longer be map zoom level based. Instead, further upgrades unlock icons that display on the radar map to help players better map out the ruins. Icons for more room. Types will be added in future updates. Okay, very cool. So it looks like it's going to be a bit better. One displays the Mejai other threats within a radar sensor, the tomb entrance. Hopefully this means no longer getting scared by crocodiles and snakes. Snakes are so annoying. displays the inner tube on its map once discovered. Level 3 displays treasuries and prison chambers on its map once discovered. Level 4 displays the entrance to the tomb's lower level on the map once discovered. Red levers will now appear on the map as well. Displays the blue escape lever at level 5 on the map. Oh, that'll be like super easy. Of course, finding the levers was always so difficult, or can be. Of course, because it's all random. The Mejai will no longer appear as a red dot on the radar map. Display will now instead appear as a red skull. Okay, that's cool. Makes it at least a bit more creepy than just like a red blip. Like you're in like a submarine and it's just going bloop, bloop, bloop. Let's see what else. Radar sensor tool now. Okay. Radar sensor. I skipped one. Go back to it. Radar sensor is still required to detect movement of the Mejai and other threats. But all their icons will remain on the map once discovered for the first time. All right. Slightly increase the duration of time that the Mejai will appear on the radar. Players will now have the ability to change the color of their radar arrows. Okay. More customizability. Customize. Whatever you want to call it. Players will have the ability to zoom in and out of the radar system display. Our system will now display its current level via a new module added on the device itself. Fixed issue in which spiders, snakes, never find. They just scare the crap out of me. Radar sensors. Player can now keep a radar sensor tool active while holding it to allow for exploration while it observes radar system. All right, observers can now properly warn of nearby threats as well. For the Mejai's radar detection evidence note. All right, each additional upgrade function, the radar sensor. All right, so you get up to 40% bonus speed, 10% per level. Item shop scripts radar sensor to indicate. Yeah, 60 proof sound. All right, so looks like the radar is going to be a bit better overall, so that's cool. Reanimation. Mummies will now have a more realistic reaction when being burned. It will no longer disappear, but instead collapse into charred remain. All right, definitely sounds like a bigger upgrade. Tremors. Stand and breathe will now fall from the ceiling in addition to existing. Using the size. It lowered the cooldown for the tremor effects when the first slightly reduced. Hopefully, not as long. Adjusted verbiage on the screen for the size. All right, very. So far, it seems like good upgrades for everything. Definitely happy about that. Vocal response added 30 plus new phrases, questions, commands, transmitter tool were recognized as well as new. Play with. Cool. More phrases, never a bad. I decreased the minimum spiritual rage required for magic. Guessing that meant in range. The base vocal response chant. Maximum number of times magic. Oh, it was number to that. Optimized vocal response audio clips for better performance. Incoming UI text will now come immediately after the Mejai vocally responds rather than before. The listening and cool deal. So definitely looks like upgrades to all the evidences, which is always a good thing. Especially some of those. Really hoping metallic signatures is gonna be better because that was like my biggest issue. All right, the PDA's research tab has been redesigned to include the new tools section, which outlines how to utilize each piece of equipment. Definitely good for when we go back to it and forgot everything. Helpful information for new players. Tomb Variation 3 has in the city of Sahara Sunken Dune Shrine maps has received overhaul, improving visual quality of the ruins with more detailed floors, walls, columns, and more. All right, like that. Added decorative Egyptian boxes throughout Tomb Variations 1 and 2. It can also be smashed by the Mejai spirit. Particular evidence types each Mejai invokes has been rebalanced to be a maximum of 8 phenomena instead of 9. Ensures that all 6 Mejai have the same number of possible phenomena. Quality of life based. Make sure everything is all uniform, even. They can all have, not bad. Updated tooltips when hovering over evidence in the PDA to reflect the new changes. That'll be useful for a reminder, because I'm sure we'll all forget. The Enter Tomb door button will now be inactive unless a Mejai's name has been. Okay. Usage hint will appear when picking up a tool for the first time. Players who haven't completed the tutorial or are below level 25. Very well, very well. Items in the shop will now list player level required to unlock the tools. That is just good. Quality players yet to prestige. The shop will also see various design improvements. Tools turn on and then put away in your inventory. It will turn back on upon re-equipped instead of being off. All right. Player movement now has a smooth damping effect. Added right hand on animation when players aren't moving but holding a tool. Added hand animation when holding. All right, so upgraded animations. 20 additional hints to the loading screens. Very good for an audio occlusion for all Magi. Stated the tutorial were applicable to reflect the new phenomena changes. Added rewards for first-time tutorial completion, including 200 gold and a Steam achievement. Means we're going to have to go through the tutorial again. Let's go. Actually, the Heck Amulet now has received an additional charge per level. Okay. Additional precision has been added to the player mic volume sliders. Added Halloween decorations to the lobby area. All right, let's go. The map selection UI flow has been improved for a smoother experience. Always a good thing when things are smoother. Player footsteps will now sound muffled when walking on carpeted surfaces. Makes sense. Improved visuals when focusing on a document, including depth of field. All right, the torch tool has received an additional 1 meter range of illumination. Helpful. PDA related pops up will now display the actual keybind selected by the player instead of the DL. All right, good. Volume normalization of global chat turned and helped reduce cases of players allow global chat volume input. Implemented new particle system performance optimizer. It affects new players who begin their first expedition without completing the tutorial will receive additional starting tips. Smoother initial experience. I don't know who would start it and not go to the tutorial, but hey, you know, some people are like, nah, I don't need no stinking tutorial. Oh well, good enough. Improved the performance of VR raycast when interacting with menus. When respawning as a human through Osiris Gate, the grand torch will be pre-lit for easier visibility. That's good. Note that the torch will remain unlit if Mejai is Necraf and is already physically manifest, so you don't get killed right away. Further accuracy and sensitivity to that. All right, what are some fixes here? Add logic to help prevent players from being stuck on a black screen. The round ends. All right, fix an issue that could cause players to fall through the floor. Fix an issue. Tools to turn off when talking about the PDA. Fix an issue with the tablet to enter selfie mode when zoomed in. Fixed an issue that caused the radio to restart itself instead of continuing playback like a real radio. Golden water pot treasure could extinguish torches. Tools to bypass being turned off when being placed away in one's inventory. Preventing VR players from prestiging. I don't have VR, so hopefully if you do. I would imagine this can be really freaky in VR. Fix an issue that allow collectibles such as rare artifacts to spawn below floor of the tomb. Fixed an issue coloring a certain phenomena. Bloom effect remain on while viewing menus. Flames from fire stand torches and lighters would ramp up too slowly. Sound of player footsteps would continue to play even when stopped moving. Looks like decent fixes. I don't think there's really any that's super neat. So that's the patch notes. Really looking forward to playing the update. We will be playing it. You can follow my Twitch account, LowP66. The link will be in the description if you want to see me play it live. We'll be playing some of that later on today when this video is released. Probably playing it more for the rest of this month and more because I do want to play more of this game. I've not played it nearly enough. I want to play it more. I really, really enjoy it. It's pretty creepy to me. Especially after spending so much time in Phasmo playing a new one. I think it's one of the well done stuff. So that will be the patch notes. Let me know what you think of the patch. If you like Forewarned, if you're gonna get it. If you're gonna get it, apparently it's on sale right now. So now is a good time to get it, learn it, stop on by. We'll have fun, play it together. All right. So thanks for watching. Good luck in the new Forewarned update. Hopefully around there in the. See you later, everybody.